Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Chow Time Sports. I'm Chow.
I'm Pete, and this week we have a full 16-game slate. Last week was very interesting. A lot of big things happened. A lot of big teams took some pretty big beatings, and a lot of interesting things happened.
Let's not talk about it.
So without further ado, we got 16 games to cover. Let's get right into it. Thursday night, we have the Baker Mayfield-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading into Buffalo as 8.5-point underdogs. Chad, you want to start us off here after what we saw last weekend?
Yeah, last weekend was abysmal. There's no excuse. I don't know what's going on over there, but something's got to change. But that being said, might be just because I'm a Bills fan, but I think they've played 3 really shitty back-to-back games. They should be 0-3 in the last 3 games. I'm going to keep it real. I think they even with the short week, being a Thursday night game, even with the short week, I think they finally pull that stick out of their ass, Pete, and they get back to winning. Because they better not go 4-4, or I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
They're only half a game ahead of the Jets.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. That should not be a thing. But I'm biased. But I think they figure it out tonight against Baker Mayfield in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
See, the last time that I did this, I got burned. But I don't think the Bills have been playing good football, especially on a short week like this one. I think the Bills, they get it done at home, they win. But I think it's a close, ugly game. I think Baker Mayfield is going to keep this game close. That Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, I believe that they'll be able to keep the Bucs in it. I believe it's going to be a little bit closer than 8.5. It might be decided by a touchdown. With that being said, give me the Bills outright. Give me the Bucs plus the 8.5.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it one bit.
Next up, starting off the 1 o'clock slate on this Sunday, we have the Los Angeles Rams heading into Dallas to face off against the Cowboys. They're 6.5-point underdogs, the Rams. After a big loss against Pittsburgh, this Rams team, I don't know how they're going to fare off against another defense that might just be as good as Pittsburgh's. And especially this Dallas team, they have a much better offense than Pittsburgh, and their defense, I'd say, is just up to par with Pittsburgh. I think that Dak and crew were able to get this done and put away the Rams soundly. And the Cowboys with the 6.5.
I'm going to differ from you a bit here, Pete. I'm going to take the Rams plus 6.5. I'm going to take the Cowboys money line, but I like the 6.5 from the Rams. They didn't play a great game last week, all right? It was sloppy on the offensive side of the ball. Cooper Kupp did not get the targets that he deserves and should get. Puka Nacua had a great week. But I think they realize that they need to get Cooper Kupp more involved, and because that's how they're going to win games. Let's be realistic here. Their defense isn't going to win them games. It's going to be Matthew Stafford to Cooper Kupp, and that's what's going to do it. And I just think the Cowboys' D-line is great. Their secondary digressed a little bit. I just think that 1-2 punch of Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua is going to be enough for them to cover this spread. And so that's why I'm going to take the Rams plus 6.5 here.
My thing is that I just think the Dallas pass rush is going to be able to overwhelm Matt Stafford just like the Steelers did.
Hopefully not.
It doesn't really matter what the secondary is if that pass rush doesn't let them get the ball out quick
enough. True. That is very true.
Next up, we have the Justin Jefferson-less Minnesota Vikings heading into Green Bay as half-point underdogs. Minnesota Vikings coming off of a massive win.
Let that not be an understatement.
Over the 49ers. Massive win. Kirk Cousins, I think Kirk Cousins broke the curse, threw for over 300 yards
like 380
on
yards
prime time against one of the best defenses in the league.
The best defense in the league.
The thing is with the Niners, it's been proven if you're going to beat San Francisco, you do it in the air. That's how you beat San Francisco. You're not gonna beat them in the trenches. You can't outsmart them. If you're gonna beat them, you got to beat them in the air. That's what they did with Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, KJ Osborne got in there too. Cam Akers and Madison both caught passes out into the flats. That's the way that they were able to beat this 49ers team. And with that being said, I think coming off after a huge win like that, their confidence is going to be at an all-time high. They're hyped up. Divisional game. I think Minnesota's really going to lay the boom on this Green Bay Packers team. I think as far as the Packers go, it's football season's really over. It's time to start watching the Milwaukee Bucks.
That's factual. Yeah, Green Bay had high expectations. I was hoping Jordan Love would pan out. Granted, it is his first full season starting, so you got to give him a little leeway there.
Christian Watson hasn't been what we thought he would be.
But that being said, they lost to the Denver Broncos last week, Pete. The Denver Broncos, all right? That's the same team that got a 70 bomb dropped on their head. I think the Minnesota Vikings steamroll them. This plus 0.5, they're underdogs by only half a point. They should be favorites in this game. I don't think
it feels
it's even
very
close.
trap-like, but I feel like the fact that it's a divisional game, and I just think Kirk Cousins and crew were able to get it done, especially in a 1:00 slate.
Absolutely.
Give me the Vikings.
Absolutely. Yeah, give me the Vikings plus 0.5 and give me their money line. Give me everything on the Vikings here. Green Bay does not stand a chance, especially after that performance last week.
Next up, we have the 4-3 NFC South leading Atlanta Falcons heading into Tennessee, heading into Music City as 2.5-point favorites. You want to start us off here, Chow?
Yeah, I'll start us off. This week, the Tennessee Titans lost a key part of their defense. Kevin Byard was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. And, I want to say Tennessee, but after that, after getting rid of maybe potentially their best defensive player, either him or Jeffrey Simmons, I don't know if I can do it because Tennessee's secondary was not very good to begin with.
The way to beat Tennessee, in my opinion, was kind of similar to San Francisco. You beat them through the air. With their only real weapon back there was Kevin Byard, but now with he's gone, I feel like Desmond Ritter's going to have a very easy time finding his wide receivers, finding Jonnu Smith and Kyle Pitts. I feel like that this Falcons team, they're gonna be able to throw the ball. That's how they're gonna be able to move the ball down the field. They're gonna get in the end zone. They're gonna put points on the board. I mean, don't get me wrong. This Tennessee team, if Derrick Henry is able to establish the ground game, Ryan Tannehill's probably not gonna play.
Yeah, I think it's Malik Willis.
It's apparently it's between Malik Willis and Will Levis.
I forgot that guy was a person. Oh my, Will Levis might make his debut?
If Will Levis makes his debut, this game could be a complete toss-up, in my opinion. Will Levis he's talented. I think he's talented.
But this is going to be his first start in the NFL.
You never know.
And good coaches. I'm not saying Arthur Smith is a good coach by any means of the imagination. But good coaches will take advantage of rookies, not seeing different defenses, changing it up. Maybe running some stunts on the D-line, try and get him confused with his pass protection.
But don't get me wrong, Mike Vrabel's
a great coach.
He is a great offensive mind. I believe that even if Will Levis does get the start, he's out there leading the troops. I think that he can make this a ball game. I believe that Mike Vrabel won't really draw up anything too complicated. Simple handoffs, quick passes, nothing too crazy. I think that the Titans are able to keep this game close, but I think the Falcons do get it by a field goal.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I'm going to take the Falcons minus 2.5 on this one. Tennessee has not been, with the decline of Derrick Henry, they have not been the same Tennessee Titans team they have been in the past 2-3 years.
It's actually kind of crazy. Before this year, I made a couple NFL division winner parlays. I had the Falcons winning the NFC South.
Wow.
I had the Jets winning the AFC East.
That's not happening.
And so far, it's not out yet.
It's not out, but it's definitely not
eliminated.
Happen.
Definitely
That's
not
for
over.
sure.
You never know. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts hosting the New Orleans Saints. Colts are favored by 1.5. The Colts are the only team left in the NFL to have put up at least 20 points in every single game this year. After nearly dropping 40 points on Cleveland, losing in heartbreaking fashion, some say that the refs gave Cleveland the game. It was a great game to watch. I personally think that they could have won it if Gardner Minshew doesn't fumble the ball in the end zone, giving them that touchdown. He had 4 turnovers. It's hard to decide which way that game really should have went, but I was thoroughly impressed. The Cleveland Browns, they have one of the strongest defenses in the league. They gave up 3 75-yard touchdown drives, a 60-yard touchdown drive, and another 40-yard touchdown drive.
Yeah.
So I think that the Colts their offense is pretty legit under Shane Steichen. I believe that the Cleveland defense is better than New Orleans. But then again, I think the New Orleans offense is slightly better, especially with Alvin Kamara. But I got to go with the Colts -1.5 here.
Yeah, give me the Colts -1.5. First of all, Browns, Colts in discussion for Game of the Year. What a game. What a game. 39-38, heartbreaker. But still, you got to be proud of the way your boys played, Pete. And I think they're gonna take that, they're gonna learn from it, and they're gonna come into this game at home and they're gonna shit stomp New Orleans. I got the Colts -1.5. New Orleans offense, they cannot get in the end zone. They are awful when they get in the red zone. They are just abysmal. They only throw checkdowns to Alvin Kamara, right? Chris Olave, I mean, is that guy even playing? Like, what's up with him?
I think he's playing. He told the kind police officer, "I play for the Saints, man." And the officer said, And? As if that matters?
Right.
What are you doing? Wait, what are you doing, man? Is Derek Carr that bad to play with? God. Give me the Colts -1.5. Give me the Colts by a touchdown.
Yeah, I think the Colts take this one. Their offense
You're the better team.
Under Minshew is not bad. Minshew can throw the ball.
Guy can sling the rock. Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss.
Hey, shout out to Josh Downs. He had himself a game, 125 yards, a touchdown.
I think in a normal year, that guy's slated for Rookie of the Year. But after seeing what we've seen from a couple other guys in different situations, it's going to take a lot for him to make a real statement. But
yeah,
I think if he keeps balling out, he very well could make a statement up there for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Moving on to a divisional game.
Our first divisional second divisional game here. We have the New England Patriots coming off of a massive win against the Buffalo Bills, heading into Miami as 9.5-point underdogs.
Yeah.
Chow, start us off here. You start us off again here.
First of all, I think the Patriots played a great game last week. They worked for it. They were hungry for it. I don't think the Bills played their best football, but I think that could be also attributed to Bill Belichick coming up with a good game plan, something that was able to neutralize our offense. And on the offensive side of the ball for New England, somehow they decide to move the rock as if Tom Brady was at the helm. I don't know what to say other than they played a great game last week, but that's not going to happen this week. They're going into Miami. Miami coming off of a loss to the Eagles. Yeah, I don't think that this game is close. I think the Miami offense is way too explosive, and they're going to be at home. They're going to be in Miami. J.C. Jackson is not him. All right. The Miami Dolphins they're gonna take this one -6.5.
9.5.
Or 9.5. My apologies.
You like the 9.5?
Yeah, especially coming off of a loss.
I don't know,
Absolutely.
man. The Patriots, they always play these divisional matchups so close.
They do.
Like even what was it, 2 years ago with the Miami Miracle?
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins were the better football team then, and it took a miracle for them to win. It's just, I don't know how to feel about it. I like the Dolphins to win, but I think the Patriots cover this 9.5-point spread. I think the way that they really shut down the Buffalo Bills last week, I don't know. I feel like I got to take New England New England with the 9.5 points here.
Earlier in the year, New England lost to Miami 24-17 in Foxborough. So they lost by 7 then.
Belichick doesn't get
home.
swept.
He
I
might this year.
think they're gonna get swept by the Dolphins this year, but I think they keep it within 10 points.
Keep in mind that was when Christian Gonzalez played, and if I'm not mistaken, he had a good game that week. But yeah, I think the Dolphins are going to take that one. Minus
All right.
9.5.
You're
Give me
entitled
that.
to your own opinion.
That I am.
Give me Baker Thursday night. Next up, we have the 3-3 New York Jets coming off of a bye week, playing a home game as the away team against the New York Giants. How often are the Jets-Giants games? I feel like it's not very often.
Not very often.
I think it's every 4 years.
It's about to be a home game for both of them.
It's a dual home game.
A duel of East Rutherford.
Yeah. I mean, the way that the Giants have been playing,
They look good under Tyrod.
they looked like they look like a good football team. Then again, they held the sorry Bills to only 14 points. Then they held Sam Howell and the Washington Commanders to 1 score.
That offense isn't anything crazy, though.
But neither of those teams have a Breece Hall. Neither of those teams have a Garrett Wilson. And neither of them have a Zach Wilson. Give me the Jets minus 3.5. Give me the Jets by a touchdown. Give me the Jets by 14 points. I think that this Jets defense is going to absolutely maul Daniel Jones, Tyrod Taylor,
playing?
whoever starts a quarterback for the New York Giants. They're going to be seeing ghosts. They're going to be seeing large men running right at them. They're going to be shitting bricks back there in the pocket. They're going to be absolutely swarmed. This New York Jets defense, I think they might have 4 or 5 takeaways this week.
Wow.
I think that they're going to have an absolute field day. I think the Jets are really going to bring the pain down on this Giants team. I'm high on the Jets, man. I like them. I think the Jets sweep Buffalo. I think the Jets beat Miami coming up.
This guy.
I think the Jets have a rebound against New England. Give me the Jets to start their run right here against the New York Giants.
Sorry, you done rambling?
Just like you rambled about how the Patriots were going to get smoked by the Bills last week. Yes, I'm done rambling.
All right, good.
And how they were going to ravage the New York Giants 2 weeks ago.
I'm going to agree with Peter. I do think that the Jets cover minus 3.5. However, it's not because they have a Zach Wilson. That is not the reason at all. The reason is their defense. I agree with what you said with no matter who's playing quarterback, it's not going to matter. I think the Giants actually have a better chance with Tyrod playing, honestly.
Probably.
But, man, that Jets defense, I can't get over it. And then Breece just traded for you in fantasy. Let's go, buddy. Yeah, give me the Jets. I think Breece gets in the end zone this weekend.
I think Breece gets in the end zone numerous times. I think Breece gets in 100 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns.
Well, shit, that's good for fantasy for me.
I think Zach Wilson, he's now taken accountability for everything. I think I mentioned it a couple episodes ago. Zach Wilson, I think 2 years ago or last year, when he was asked about putting up 3 points in a loss to the Patriots, he said it wasn't his fault that they lost. Yep. But I believe this year, when they got beaten up by the Patriots, they were asked the same question, and he said it was on him. It was on him to make plays. It was on him to move the ball. That taking accountability, I believe that the New York Jets are going to really start making serious advancements, and that defense is going to really bring the heat on some of these better teams in the AFC.
Moving on, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at 2.5-point favorites going into Pittsburgh to face the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have shocked me in every way possible. Their offense is abysmal. But their defense,
phenomenal.
I think their defense might be outscoring their offense this year.
That's definitely possible.
Their defense is keeping them in every game. They're T.J. Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick. They're playing like dogs. And that's what you have to do to beat this Jacksonville team. You can't play them soft. You can't win an offensive battle against the Jaguars. You need to do it in the trenches, and that's where the Pittsburgh Steelers are better. Give me Pittsburgh. I took Pittsburgh last week against the Rams. I thought the Rams were a better football team, but they're not gritty like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers, the grittiest team in the NFL.
You know, I really thought that we were going to differ here. I was like, oh, Pete's going to take the Jags
Absolutely
here.
not. I think the Jags are absolute frauds. They beat the Bills. The Bills suck.
That was a London game. Chill out, brother.
They
out.
beat the Saints. The Saints suck.
Saints are bad.
The Saints are bad.
They had a
The
second half
Pittsburgh
collapse in
Steelers
that
are
game.
going to murder them.
The Jags had a second half collapse in that game.
They did.
Their
still
offense
won.
stalled. Yeah.
Give me the Steelers, no question.
Yeah, I was hoping we were that you weren't going to pick them, so I could differ from you a bit. But I
Easy
like
selection.
the Steelers, bro. I like
Easy
the
selection.
Steelers.
I had them last week.
in Pittsburgh.
There was 4 people left in one of my survivor pools. One of them took the Rams. I said, wow, there's going to be 3 of us left. You know how many are left? 3.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm going to take yet this week. I'm eyeing a couple games.
Detroit. I thought we talked about this.
I might take the Jets, but
the Jets.
I might take the Jets. I don't know because I don't have many selections left. But rolling into the next game, we have the 6-1 Philadelphia Eagles off of a massive win against Miami to drop another offensive juggernaut to 5-2.
Yeah.
Heading into Washington to play against the 3-4 Commanders after a really bad defeat to a lowly New York Giants team. Really not much that has to be said. These Eagles are red hot. It doesn't really look like they can be beat by many teams. I think the Eagles easily cover this 6.5-point spread. I think that, the Commanders, they usually keep these divisional games tough, especially last game. And when they played in Philly, they forced overtime, and the Eagles barely snuck away with it. But I think Sam Howell's been figured out. I don't really think that this Washington Commanders team is capable of too much. I think that this is, I feel like, just a regular football game for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're gonna have no problem breezing past the Commanders here.
Yeah, let's not overthink it here. Philadelphia Eagles -6.5 lock. Even in Washington, that's still a lock. Offensive line still playing amazing. Defensive line still playing amazing. And they added Kevin Byard. Let's not overthink this. Let's not get it. Let's not look too deep into this. Eagles are red hot. Give me the Eagles -6.5 all day.
Next up, we have the fresh off of a bye, 3-3 Houston Texans, favored by 3.5 heading into Carolina. The battle of was the 1 and 2 picks.
Yep, the top 2 quarterbacks.
The top 2 quarterbacks
draft.
drafted in the 2023 NFL draft, and it's a real tough one. This is the defense played in this game is going to be offense. This game is going to be very high scoring, in my opinion. I think it's whichever quarterback can win whichever team wins the turnover battle, whichever team has a cleaner passing game. Neither team really runs the ball that well.
No, neither team particularly does.
I have Miles Sanders in fantasy. Would love if that guy got in the end zone. Bryce Young, if you happen to be a Chow Time enjoyer, make sure to hand him off the ball on the goal line. But
that'd be nice.
With that being said, Bryce Young hasn't had a terrible statistical season. They've kept games relatively close. I don't think that they're not playing like an 0-6 team.
No,
I think this week, I don't know. What do you think?
All right, you scared me for a second. Give me the Carolina Panthers to win their very first game of the season.
About it.
All right? At home, Bryce Young, like you're gonna have the normal growing pains with a rookie quarterback, right? He's not gonna be a star.
Because I
league.
like the Panthers, dude. I like their offense. Adam Thielen,
Give me
dog.
Adam Thielen,
Miles
my
Sanders,
guy.
dog. Chuba Hubbard, dog. Like they have the guys. I don't like the Texans. C.J. Stroud is very talented. Don't overthink it. Guy's very talented. The Texans, I believe, have found their future, but. Give me the Panthers. Give me. Everyone loves an underdog story. The first overall pick, 0-6. Give me the Panthers.
I think they pick up their first win here. Look for Brian Burns to have a big game on the defensive side of the ball. Same with Jeremy Chin, their safety. He's underrated out there, but I just have a feeling. I have a gut feeling that Carolina Panthers.
It's going to be a good game to watch.
Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen, dog. Guy's going to have 15 catches, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
That
guy's an animal.
Dude,
guy's an animal.
Ridiculous. He's best. Steal the draft.
Guys are another level
in fantasy.
Starting
the 4
o'clock slate, we have the Cleveland Browns coming off of a very impressive offensive performance of P.J. Walker, heading into Seattle as 3.5-point underdogs. I like Cleveland. I respect Cleveland. I don't like them. I respect them. I think that they are talented. I think that they are gritty. But I think the Seattle team, I think Seattle's a better football team. Kareem Hunt, though, he's going to be getting RB1 snaps. And I believe that behind this Cleveland Browns line, they're going to be able to establish a very heavy run game. P.J. Walker he's capable of throwing the ball. Or if Deshaun Watson plays, he's more than capable of throwing the ball too. I think that the Cleveland Browns are able to keep it close. Not really 3.5 points close. I think this game's decided by less than a touchdown. Or I think it's decided by a touchdown. But give me Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks minus 3.5.
Once again, Pete, you're taking my picks, brother. I like Seattle minus 3.5.
I don't think I like this line a lot. I think this game is decided by a touchdown. It's probably going to be like a 27-20 or maybe like, I don't know, 24-17 kind of game, but give me Seattle with the 3.5.
Yeah, I like Seattle. It's nothing really that I don't like about the Browns. It's just what I like more. They're going into Seattle. Seattle, known to be a more difficult place to play in with the 12th man they got out there. DK will be back. He was coming off of an injury. But I think the big thing is to look for the Seattle Seahawks safeties coming down into the box for the Cleveland run game. I think Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs.
Jamal Adams is a top 5 celebrator in the NFL.
Hey, he's been playing good this year when he's not been hurt. I'm going to be honest. Like, he hasn't been super flashy, but he's doing what he's meant to do. And he's a terrific run defender. Both of them, Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams. Those boys lay the boom. And I think that's going to be big, seeing if the Seattle secondary, mainly the safeties in Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams can really make an impact to try to stop that run game or at least slow it down. Because there are some hard-hitting safeties. They're not afraid of contact. So look forward for them to coming down into the box and making a play here and there. But I think that's going to be the difference is the Seattle defense stopping this Cleveland Browns run game. But yeah, I like Seattle minus 3.5. I rode them earlier in the season against Detroit, and I'm going to ride them again. Give me Seahawks.
Next up, we have the Kansas City Chiefs heading into Mile High, 7.5-point underdogs. I feel like not much really needs to be said here. It's just Chiefs are the Chiefs, the Broncos are the Broncos. The Broncos suck. The Chiefs are good. The Chiefs minus 7.5. I feel like the Chiefs could easily put up like fucking 50 points in this game. It's gonna be ugly.
Yeah,
I know it's a divisional game. Divisional games are always relatively close, but give me the Chiefs. Don't overthink it. 7.5 points feels like not enough. This game should be like 13.5. But Whatever. I'll take 7.5 points where I can get them.
Yeah. There's not much to say
They
about
just beat the
them.
Chargers by 2 scores, right?
Yeah.
And I think the Chargers are a much better football team than the Denver Broncos.
Absolutely.
The Chiefs'
There's-
defense has been playing out of their minds too.
There's not much to say about
Broncos
this game.
might not cross the 50 this game.
There is not much to say about this. Chiefs' offense looked incredible last week. Their defense, for once, is good. And you got Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. Enough said. Chiefs minus 7.5. Give me them by 10. Give me them by 14. It's gonna be ugly.
Give me the Chiefs by
Patrick
21.
Mahomes will not play in the fourth quarter.
I actually think I might take an alternate line, Chiefs minus 20.5 this game. This is like Chiefs minus 20.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cook up right here. Give me the Colts minus 6.5. Chiefs minus 20.5. Steelers minus 2.5. And the New York Jets minus 9.5. Lock that all in right now.
Jesus Christ. Well, look, we got to remember that for next week, and we can see how you did on that.
I'm going to lock it in right now. You start us off on the next game. I'll lock that in right now.
Yeah, I got you. So we got another 4 o'clock game, 4:25. We have the Baltimore Ravens as 8.5-point favorites going into Arizona after that incredible win when they dominated the Detroit Lions, all phases of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. Baltimore, for once, looked like they are legit. Because before this game, I was not a believer, and I'm still not a believer. All right, I'm not quite there to say that these guys are legit. But man, did they look good! Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, they played incredible. It's hard to say if they're legit or not. But what I do know is they're going to cover this minus 8.5 line
Easily.
against Arizona.
Easily.
Not much to be said.
Easily. I'm out of focus right now, but I'm cooking right now.
He's locking in. Pete, you like Baltimore minus 8.5?
No, don't overthink it, everybody. Give me Baltimore minus 8.5.
All right. Yep. Baltimore, Arizona, still a Joshua Dobbs. No James
Simple.
Conner.
Plain and simple.
Yeah. Keep it there. Moving on, we have the Cincinnati Bengals, the 3-3 Cincinnati Bengals, as 5.5-point underdogs going into San Fran. All right, San Fran just coming off of the loss to the Vikings. What a game, by the way. You know, I think them not having Deebo Samuel really hurts. It really hurts them because Deebo is
It's a big piece of their
extremely
offense.
explosive player, and he does a lot for them, whether it be if he's actually getting the touches or just the threat of him.
All right,
It's one less person they need a game plan for.
I'm gonna cut you off right here.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's hear it.
Pittsburgh Steelers minus 2.5. Colts minus 6.5. New York Jets minus 10.5. Kansas City minus 20.5. And I'll even sprinkle in the Minnesota Vikings minus 5.5. I'm going to get up and show you guys this.
There's no way. Stop focusing. What 10 to win how much?
We got $10 yields $2,628 and change. I'm telling you. That's your mortgage payment for the month, everyone.
Well,
That's it. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it.
New slogan, don't overthink it.
Plain and simple. This is a get-right game for the San Francisco 49ers. The Bengals have been an absolute pushover all season, and I think they're going to continue being a pushover. I'm not a believer in Joe Burrow. I think these Bengals, I think they're frauds.
And Pete's back. He's locked
I think
in
they're
again.
frauds.
He's locked
Give
in.
me San Francisco. Give me Brock Purdy. I don't care. The Kirk Cousins game. I think that the Vikings got away with one. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, they played exceptional football, but I think San Francisco really overlooked Kirk Cousins that game. I think they're going to lock in here at home. against this Cincinnati team, and I really think that they win this game pretty easily. I think that this game's decided by more than a touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. San Fran's going to bounce back this week. No question about it, even without Deebo Samuel. These Cincinnati Bengals are awful. T. Higgins been awful this year. And you can't win a game with just Jamar. As much as you like to think, you can't win a game. You can't win a game with just Jamar.
I just can't stop smiling at this right now. I can't stop smiling. Because
how to be $2.5 richer.
How easily it is to just.
Oh, that's enough of that. San Fran -5.5. Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it.
At home too. Let that be known.
Chow, I'm quoted, patented, trademarked Chow Time Sports. Don't overthink it.
Yes, sir. Moving on.
Sunday night football.
Sir.
Sunday night football. We're already almost at the end here. The Chicago Bears. The Tyson Bagent-led Chicago Bears heading into Los Angeles to face off against Justin Herbert and the Chargers. The Chargers have been having an awful season.
Yeah. Brandon Staley is probably going to be out the door.
My fantasy season's on the line here. It's been a rough year. 2-5.
Unlucky.
Going against the team that's 6-1 this week. My season's on the line here, but the only thing that I really need here, I have both. I got DJ Moore, and I got Austin Eckler in this game. This game, biased, non-biased, I think it's going to be an absolute shootout. I think each team puts up well over 450 yards of total offense.
Whoa!
I think the Bears are going to be able to move the ball extremely easily against this Chargers' very porous defense. We've seen DJ Moore pop once. For my sake,
what's one more time?
What's one more time? I think this is a get-right game for the Chargers, and the Bears are going to be playing catch-up football for most of the game. They're going to be throwing the ball. Tyson Bagent, he's talented. He's not great.
I wouldn't say he's talented.
He's not great. He can throw the ball. He can make good handoffs. I wouldn't be absolutely terrified if I was a member of the Chicago Bears organization heading into this game. I wouldn't think that I'm going to get absolutely blown out this game. I think it's going to be relatively, maybe a 2-score game, 10, 14 points. It's not going to be that bad. But I got to go with the Chargers -8.5. The Chargers, this is a must-win, must-make statement for them.
Yeah, give me the Chargers -8.5. Really, I'm looking at the defenses. Both defenses suck. All right.
The defense is gonna be played on offense.
Yes. The only thing is, so I'm taking the Chargers -8.5. Look for Austin Eckler to break out this game. I think this is the week he finally does it. If Justin Fields is playing in this game, I'd be taking the Bears right now. I'd be taking their money line. Because I don't know what the spread would be, but I think they win that game.
Is Justin Fields going to play?
No, he's out.
For sure?
Yeah, it's Tyler Bagent. But if Justin Fields were to play, if he wasn't injured, I'd be taking the Chicago Bears right here. I think his connection with DJ Moore is incredible, and they can make things happen. They can make magic happen.
It's doubtful.
But that being said, no Justin Fields, so give me Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. I think if they lose this game, Brandon Staley might be gone. He might not last the whole season as their head coach. He might be fired this week. And this is a massive game for the Chargers, not just so they can potentially still be in the playoff conversation. This is for Brandon Staley's head coaching job right here. Because if they don't win this game, he's gone, and they got to figure out.
I think the Chargers win by 10 points here. I think it's a 10, 14-point game. Tyson Bagent against the Raiders last week, his first career start, 160 yards, touchdown pass, no turnovers,
which is big.
He's not bad, and especially against this defense, I think they're gonna ease him into more passing. They're gonna If they can't establish the run game with Dante Foreman, who
What a game he had.
Yeah, who might not even play honestly because I think it was an ankle injury.
Something like that. I don't even
But
know.
whoever the starting back is for Chicago, I think if Chicago can't really establish the run game, they're going to have to turn to Tyson Bagent to throw the ball, and I believe that he'll be able to find open guys downfield, especially against this Chargers defense. I feel like it's a game where he'll be able to he'll be able to get comfortable throwing the ball. But I got to go with the much better football team and give him the Chargers with the 8.5.
Yeah.
Next up, to
last game of the
close
week.
out our day, the 3-4 Los Angeles Raiders, freshly after losing to Tyson Bagent and the Bears,
Yep.
are heading into Detroit,
Who just got their
who
shit rocked.
just got the
Respectfully.
wake-up call of a lifetime from the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
The Lions were up in space. They got brought right back down to earth.
It's gonna happen to every team.
Yeah, happens
And
to everyone.
It just so happened to be this past week where
Yeah.
the Lions got
Two
brought
weeks
back.
ago, the Eagles lost to the Jets,
Bills
and
lost
the Bills
to
lost to the
we
Patriots.
Lost to the Patriots. Lost the Jags.
There was another
They
big
fucking
upset.
Suck.
Why can't I think of it?
It was the San Fran losing to
San Fran
Cleveland.
lost to Cleveland.
PJ Tucker, PJ Tucker.
PJ
Cleveland.
PJ
Or
Walker.
PJ Walker, not Tucker.
A lot of
Not the
I mean, a
basketball
lot
guy.
of these teams just have to get brought back down to earth. It happens.
Yep, it's gonna happen.
It happened to the Lions, and I think that this game they'll get right back on track. I believe Baltimore is one of the powerhouses in the AFC. This Raiders team,
This Raider team's awful. They just lost to Tyler Bagent in his first ever career start, being a D2
phenom.
Yeah, yeah. There is no debating this. The Lions are gonna shit stomp the fucking Las Vegas Raiders. It's not even gonna be close.
Don't overthink it.
Their team.
Detroit
yeah,
Lions
don't
minus 8.5.
overthink it.
Don't overthink it.
The Raiders are awful. Detroit, wake up call. They're
Detroit
gonna get
wins by
back.
21 points.
They're
I
gonna-
should have added that to the thing.
You should have waited to do it until now, then, Pete. But yeah, come on. Dan Campbell was in that locker room after that game, ripping people's heads off. This week he is going hard, and they're in Detroit too. Come on now. Yeah, Jared Goff and the boys are gonna get back on. Unfortunately, no David Montgomery still, but Jahmyr Gibbs had himself a decent day, even though they got blown out. We'll look to see if he'll have another impactful game this week, which I think he should. I think he's due for another one. As Vegas's defense is not very good outside of Max Crosby. I feel like we say that every week
Yeah,
because it's true. Max
Yeah.
Crosby is incredible. He is one of the best defensive players in the league currently.
sucks for his sake that he's on the Raiders, but I feel
Yeah.
like that's like the only place that he fits.
Right.
You know, his persona and all that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I see.
with
The
that being
Lions
said,
running away with
I
this
think
one.
the Lions really run away with this one. Thank you all for tuning in. 16 games. This was a shorter episode, I think.
Yeah, we did. We
Definitely
had good timing
definitely a
for
little bit
16
shorter
games.
than last week's.
Definitely.
Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for riding with us.
Absolutely.
And we'll be back next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week with Week 9.
Week 9. This season's flying by. Take care. We'll see you next week.